What could be scarier than treading water miles from land when sharks circle around you? It must be terrifying to see your friends, relatives, or comrades being ripped apart one by one, knowing your turn is coming and there is nothing you can do. An encounter with a shark is roughly 1 in 11.5 million, says the International Shark Attack File. Don't get us wrong, there's something real about the sharks being dangerous. Globally, sharks are responsible for unprovoked attacks on swimmers and beach-goers, and each year, people are killed by sharks. Sharks are nature's most ferocious beasts that may be found in oceans all around the world. There are many examples of people experiencing terrible shark attacks, many of which are recorded. Let's check out the video and see which of the scariest shark attacks has gone wrong. The Mike Tyson of pro surfers. Mick Fanning, often known as White Lightning, is an Australian professional surfer. In 2015, Fanning and another professional surfer named Julian Wilson were 2 minutes into a competition off the coast of a South African beach when they noticed a big white shark wedged between them. Instead of panicking when he saw the shark, Fanning yanked back and struck it in the face. Shark scientists and marine biologists agree that if you ever come in contact with a shark and can't get out of the water, the next best thing to do is fight dirty. You can either punch it in the nose or grab it by the gills. If possible, poke its eyes. Fanning's shark assailant, stunned, managed to gnaw through the leash that connected Fanning to his board before swimming away. Julian Wilson assisted Fanning back to shore and was afterward acclaimed as a folk hero in the surfing community. I don't think she's an environmentalist anymore. Heather Boswell, a young environmentalist, was on a ship with a group of other environmental professionals offering assistance off South America's southern coast. After a long day of labor, the crew took a break and went for a swim off the side of the boat. Several crew members had video cameras with them and opted to film the post-work swim. The captured footage seems like it belongs in a horror film. On a trip with other individuals, we observe a young girl having the time of her life. She has a broad smile on her face when a large mass appears behind her in an instant. Heather had no idea she was about to be the victim of a horrible attack. She vanishes under the dark blue sea seconds after the enormous shark clamps around her leg. Heather reappeared at the surface by chance thanks to the shark's intense thrashing, and her friends were able to catch her and take her back on board before she was killed. Dr. Eric Ritter, shark expert. Dr. Eric Ritter, a well-known expert on sharks and shark behavior, was recording a program for Discovery Channel's Shark Week in 2003. Ritter is also recognized for performing particular yoga practices with sharks to calm them down while in water with them. Ritter and a film team were waist-deep in brilliant blue seas off the shore of Walker's Cay in the Bahamas, surrounded by adult bull sharks. What could possibly go wrong? This scientist does yoga. Moments after emphasizing that dealing with bull sharks requires extra caution and awareness of one's surroundings, one crashes into his left calf and promptly sinks its dozens of razor-sharp teeth into the doctor's thigh, like your father does with a turkey leg during Thanksgiving dinner. After a few horrifying seconds, the team is able to free Ritter's leg from the shark's mouth and get him to shore, with parts of his flesh clinging to his blood-soaked calf and ankle. Ritter spent several weeks in the hospital rehabilitating. Even though his left leg is now hideously damaged, doctors were able to save his life and restore his ability to walk. Diver's danger. The spearfishing trip of Park Simpson near Stock Island, Florida, ended in horror when a 7-foot reef shark started swimming toward him. The 23-year-old Key West resident filmed the shark attack while the reef shark closed in on his leg. The shark appeared around the 36-second mark. He tried to avoid the shark, but it managed to attack both of Simpson's fins and took a chunk out of his leg, ripping through the skin, fat tissue, muscle sheath, and his tibial artery, which caused him to lose nearly a liter of blood. As a result, Simpson had 56 stitches after returning to the boat. On his medical bills fundraising page, Simpson writes, "First, I thought he was trying to steal the black grouper I was holding, but after I lost the grouper and watched it swim toward the bottom, the shark kept coming at us. After all that, Simpson managed to recover his spear gun. We wouldn't blame him if he never went into the water again, though. Dickie's death wish. Scientists and animal experts appear to go to virtually any length to learn more about their field of study. In the captured footage, a researcher identified only as Dickie climbs atop what looks to be a piece of equipment designed to mimic shark motions. Dickie, ever the determined researcher, volunteers to pilot the perplexing device just as two sharks appear in the ocean where Dickie and his team have decided to begin recording. Okay, technically speaking, there is no attack in this image, but let's face it, Dickie is essentially floating on a sharp-shaped piece of particle board. He gets pushed and rocked by the shark throughout the encounter. Several times, its fin almost knocks him down. When the brains back on the boat try to bring him to safety, things get even more severe. On the other hand, the shark has other plans and comes between Dickie and the boat. Fortunately, he walks away, and they are able to drag Dickie back on board just as the shark grabs the fake shark's tail and bites him. They're going to need a bigger boat. The iconic sentence from the classic Jaws jumped into the thoughts of shark experts Jeff Kerr and Andy Casagrande when they had the brilliant idea to connect a camera to a great white's fin and clamber into a boat a little smaller than the shark itself. The purpose was to film sharks pursuing prey in their natural environment. When the shark became aggressive, the goal was to avoid being flung overboard. The two shark experts are inches from the ocean and are tasked with sticking their arms into the deep, murky water in order to attach a camera to a shark's fin. A tiny string connects the little boat to the larger research vessel. When agitated, the shark nearly quickly grabs for the string. It's almost as if she knew slicing through the string will make it easier for her to make a quick supper out of the two men inside. I'll have one pontoon with a side of cameraman. The plot is straightforward enough. A video production business specializing in wild animal footage hires a boat to take them out into shark-infested waters to gather B-roll for their YouTube channel. They spot the sharks as they approach, and the boat's engine sets a path directly towards the action. However, when they arrive, things swiftly deteriorate. The infuriated shark bites one of the inflatable pontoons that kept the boat, crew, and camera equipment afloat after being provoked by either the fish around the boat or the underwater cameras put in his face. Rather than powering up the engine and speeding away, the team continues to film, capturing nasty footage of a great white shark slicing through the rubber material like a hot knife through butter. The attack appears to last barely a few moments, but the boat is visibly damaged. The driver starts the engine at the last possible second, and the seriously damaged boat makes it to shore. Caged in. Despite the normal claustrophobic anxieties of being imprisoned in a metal cage and then hurled into the ocean, shark cage excursions are frequently popular among thrill seekers. Most of the time, the individuals in the cages get a front row seat to some exciting shark-on-fish action. Unfortunately for these two people in this tank, they may have gotten more than they bargained for. This shark arrives seemingly out of nowhere. He swoops in and pecks off an unsuspecting fish near the cage right away. Then it's as if he notices the two divers attempting to film him. The shark rams the cage, breaking off one side in what can only be described as a horror. Our two diving companions were fortunate because the shark was too large to get through the opening and finally lost interest in his possible prey. Sadly, the shark did get trapped and ended up dying from this encounter. So, if you notice a shark, don't thrash or scream. Stay away from shark-infested areas. Be aware of your surroundings and swim in a group. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If so, then give this video a big ol' fins up and bite down on that like button. Make sure that you subscribe to our channel if you're a new subscriber. Thanks for watching. Looking forward to seeing you soon. Till then, stay safe.